working. It worked for him.
Okay. You're going to do the intro.
Yo, welcome to the 42nd episode of Get the Goods podcast. Okay, we back. We got updates. We got news. We got history. And then, guess who we got with us?
No.
What am I
How do
missing?
we start the pod?
A clap. I thought you said you was going to clap because I started
But
it.
you got to make the request.
Oh, Mike, clap. Oh, thank you. Okay, dang. I never remembered that you asked me. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna start being more mindful. So, who do we got with us?
Yo,
Mike
we got
Floss.
Mike Floss, the best rapper in the solar system. We actually are here, you know what I'm saying, at base camp. You know what I'm saying? Big Bro said this base camp, so that's what we calling it right now. And we having a conversation around Wale. Okay? Wale was the quintessential HBCU respectfully but. Like he was like, you know what? I'm being a little self-serving, but I'm gonna request consent. Before we was even throwing the word consent around
that's real.
in that way.
Yeah.
He was like, respectfully, but I'm trying to slide. So you make the decision you then want to make and I'll honor it.
but he letting you know what's up.
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully.
Wale was the original version of
I
that.
had a time with that moment.
Wale, any black woman that went to college has had an encounter with Wale's music. Like this was like, oh, he's smart.
Yeah, he cute.
He care about us.
Right?
Wale is who y'all think Drake is.
Okay, not too much. on
Wale
Drake.
is actually that person.
well.
Wale is actually the nigga in Love Jones saying the poem.
That's fair. That is Wale.
Yeah.
And Drake is the one who's like maybe
Copying the poem he saw
That's
and
real.
saying it
And
to you
texting
like it
to
was
you,
his.
no. It texts to
And
5
texting
other
it.
people.
And putting you in a group text.
But not too much on Drake. But that's real. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did Drake not give Young Thug $1 million?
No, shout out to that. That's cool. We're going to get into that later. Welcome to the Get the Goods podcast,
Welcome.
episode 42. We here. If you don't know, this is a place where we talk politics, we talk the news, we talk culture, we talk what it means to be a black person in this time and say, I'm going to make a very intentional effort to be engaged in the black radical tradition, to be engaged in the movement. And I think it's very much so an honor to be like, okay, I get to really see what it looks like to shape my life around an agenda, a particular agenda and a particular goal. So the way we start the pod every time is we talk about the news. So what you been hearing?
Okay, I got two kind of things in the news. You know, we living in some wild moments. Very difficult, but I do believe we gonna win, right? But first we gotta talk about what the ops been up to.
Okay.
So Supreme Court issued an order basically allowing immigration enforcement federal agencies to use like basically race as a way to say, okay, based on how I decide your race, I can question you, like I can target you, like
Right.
racial bias is like racial profiling is back.
Yeah.
It never completely left, right? But at least
Yeah.
there was the cover of some type of legality saying that that undermined it. But now it's legal, it's possible, and it means like if you are a person of color, you work at Home Depot or certain temp agencies, they can use it as a reason to profile you. And the truth is, what we know is that this does not just, it's not just, immigrants, it's black, it's not just immigrants of color that will be impacted, it's black people, black immigrants and black people who will be impacted by this. And so that was just issued like the week of September 9th.
Yeah.
And so holding that decision.
And it's actually they made a different decision earlier.
The lower court was like, nah, like that's actually unconstitutional. It's likely unconstitutional.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court, which again, many of the right had significant wins when it came to who's on the Supreme Court. So it's extremely right leaning right now. That does not mean that like, you know, the folks elected by the Democrats are like perfect or anybody that completely hold like the moral authority. But what we do know is the right is like they did away with Roe v. Wade, are doing extremely have been extremely harsh when it comes to like the constitutional rights that we had left. And not to say the Constitution again is our like moral document, right?
Yeah.
But it is one tactic that we have in our quest for like liberation and freedom.
And I think a big thing to think about too is like we understand the consistency of the right. They take a loss and they say, we're not letting it go. We're not never letting it go. We're going to work. Our plan goes out 100+ years.
Yeah.
We have the plan. This is a death cult. We have the plan to destroy
Oh yeah. No.
everything. Like
Still
we have,
kill and destroy.
We have no intention of anything that is concerned with the well-being of humanity. We have no intention there. Our intention is all wickedness. And they hold to that. And I'm like, we need to hold to our principles, to our values, to our traditions, to our families, to our people.
Yeah.
There is a very important lesson to be learned about saying, okay, we are capable of taking a loss and continuing on with the mandate. Shout out to Mary Hooks, to the mandate that we know is set forth. And I think that was kind of like jarring to me because it was very obviously racist and unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Very much so. America was built on many things. Many things that we do not agree with politically, but or humanly. But I think the important thing to note is like people hold to their politics and they hold to their values. And it's important to me to say, oh, this is a sign that we have to continue to fight. Yeah, sure, they said that, and now we fight.
I'm curious, what does it look like to you to make there's a question around, what does it look like to you to make a long-term commitment to struggle, to ensuring that like you win, like we win, and then being like, how long I live, I don't know, but I will make sure that there are other people who come and struggle with me, because there were people who made a commitment to overturn Roe v. Wade as soon as it passed. And some of them did not live to see that, but they prepared other people for that.
Yep.
So my question is like,
they raised children.
Right. What does that look like to you to be like, I have a long-term commitment that will outlive my like life?
And I want to quote the big homie CJ. Every seat on the bus, there's a seat on the bus for everybody, but every seat ain't for every person on the bus. I have made the commitment to say my life is in service to my people, 100%. No matter what seat I sit in, my life is in that service. For me, what that means is being intentional with the things that you do and the way that you spend your time. So the politics is aspirational. Shout out to Denzel Caldwell. But I think for me, what that looks like is like, I want to make sure that with every gain, with every step that I take forward, I bring my people with me. With every step that I take forward, I question the value, the goal, the intention, and the way that it will affect the people around me and the people that I feel I'm in service to. So to me, it's very simple. It's not so much like I have to be doing a specific thing. It's more so like everything that I do, I want to at least ask the question, oh, what does it mean to buy this? What does it mean to say this on a song? Yeah. What does it mean for me to, have or not have a conversation with this person? And I'm not perfect in that, but at the same time, it's like I'm constantly interrogating and questioning the value of what my actions are and how they will impact the people around me.
Yeah, I think for me, there's a song that I don't know whose song it is, but it's like, as long as I am breathing, I will always like worship you. It's a gospel song. I think it's a gospel song. And that's how I think about it. Like, I think this is like spiritual work. Like, I'm like, a part of my faith, a part of how I love God, how I show my faith, the faith of my grandmother, my grandfather, is through like, I feel like this work is it's an act of worship. Like, it's like me showing adoration and love to God's people, to God, by like, let me make things right in the world. And I think that's a piece of it. But I think the other thing for me is not just like my own individual commitment. It's like, how do I ensure that this vision of liberation, one, can be built on, but also that it outlives me? That's the thing, because they vision be out, like the vision of George Washington, of Reagan, it outlived them. Like,
100%.
you know, and the truth is, the vision of Fannie Lou Hamer, Kwame Ture has outlived them. Like, we come in that legacy. So some of it is like, I think even the work you do with the Youth Assembly, your music, like, it will outlive us. So that there might, like, so that other people, like, it's not just us that have to carry that. You know what I mean? I think that's something humbling in that, by being like, it's not me alone.
And to me, it's also about documenting your history and
Yeah.
documenting your present. Like, I think a big part of like what we do is tell our own stories, so that people can say, oh, I have a frame of reference for what was going on and the why and the how. So
Yeah.
that now I can use that as a lesson to inform what I need to do, 100 years from now, 200 years from now.
Yeah.
We pull from our ancestors
For sure.
constantly.
Yeah.
We just currently finished Assata Shakur's autobiography. And it was so many lessons in that book. I'm like, man, I feel like after I read that book, I need to read it again.
Right.
Like
No,
now,
for real.
now I'm like, oh, it's not really going to hit to the second time I
Right.
read it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was thinking about that as a practice, like reading a book and then reading it, like reading every book that I read twice, back to back. So I'm like, oh, now it's like watching a movie multiple times.
Yeah.
You pick up on nuances. You pick up on through lines. You pick up on like, oh, I understand why you put a poem at the end of almost every chapter.
Yeah.
It's just so
Why?
many different.
Why did she do that?
I'm not saying I do understand.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a choice. I think my understanding of that is the way she was raised, how she originally gained comfort with voice and her voice, and the ability to communicate 30 pages in one page.
Yeah.
And she does that in a poem.
Okay.
So I'm
I
like,
see. Yeah.
that's the way I originally interpreted it, but I think reading it a second time, I may have a different analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness. So my other piece of the news
Okay.
is in the same vein of the ops having legacy and having
Oh, Lord.
their commitment. It's just that there are different counties in Tennessee who are like, some of them are like applying to work with ICE. Some of them are like hoping to get these 287G agreements, which means that they're basically local county law enforcement would be working with ICE and could do some of the ICE. They could do some of the immigration enforcement work. Like they would say they identify people who ICE should like consider, who should, and then they can start that kind of that process of the immigration process of taking away folks like ability to be in the country, those immigration proceedings. And so that is alarming, but of course we're in Tennessee, so it's quite a few counties that folks should know, like Murfreesboro. Well, I'll say the cities because sometimes it's easier to identify. Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Sumner County, which Hendersonville, not Nashville. Nashville's not down, right? And you see how they come in after Nashville mayor, because Nashville mayor is like, I'm not rocking with how y'all moving.
Absolutely.
How not just they, I mean, and y'all is like the president of the United States and the governor of Tennessee, like who are like, they have this extreme commitment to like really picking people up, using racial bias, using racial prejudice as a way to pick people up and put them out the country. And they don't even care where they go. They're not even trying to send them to somewhere. And they don't even care about actually process and
They don't
procedure.
even care about citizenship.
Yeah, they don't care. That's why I'm like, black people, we got to be clear, we're untouched. And I think now some of the people who thought like, oh, this is just the people, this is just immigrants, forgetting that black people are immigrants, but also forgetting that like, you thought they was going to stop at, people who are immigrants. Now you see how they like, no, they want the National Guard, who is made up of a bunch of young people, which is kind of frustrating because it's like you taking, who you think is in the National Guard? You think it's wealthy white
It's
boys?
high school
It's
graduates.
not.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's our kids.
Yeah.
It's our young people that
Yeah.
they putting and trying to tell them they trying to turn our people on us. And so
Whole time our people are just looking for something productive.
Yeah,
to
they
do.
just like, you know, you exactly. They just want something to do because, again, a lot of their schools didn't have a resource to set them up for trade school or set them up for college, or they just like, hey, this is what I want to do. But now they forcing them to go into like DC and trying to put them in Chicago. And so, it's just another trend. And so I think we want to keep thinking about folks are fighting back, right? Fighting back in Chicago, in LA, in DC. And so we definitely move in solidarity with people who are like, nah, we fight back in both through litigation and in the streets.
Yeah, that's real. And it makes me think about like this push to the right. There's a lot happening.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
Charlie King got killed today.
On September, Kirk.
I don't know who. I'm sorry.
Kirk, but don't give him King name.
Yeah, no. Ooh, nuance. There's a lot of Charlie Kirk got killed today. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to be speaking in Utah.
He was speaking in Utah.
Oh, he was speaking.
He was speaking.
This literally just happened, so I'm a little bit. It's a little bit new. This is like breaking news. He got killed, and it made me have some questions. I've seen him. I don't know nothing about Charlie Kirk. I've seen his face before, and I've seen his face attached to the right. I don't know too much about things he's said or any of his like background, but what I do know is this: there is a particular tension that is being ramped up by the current presidential administration that is in the air, right? And we felt this before. We felt it in 2020. We felt it in 2019. We felt it in, after the first President Obama term. Mm-hmm. Like there was a tension that began to ramp up in the air. Mm-hmm. And it makes me think about Malcolm X when he talks about the United States as a powder keg. Mm-hmm. And we just waiting on one spark, and it's going to be a massive explosion. I think, we've seen that with Luigi, with the healthcare system and the way people in this country feel about healthcare, and knowing that there's countries all over the globe that have free healthcare. We felt that with Charlie Kirk today, where there's some people, we want to go dance on his grave, give us a minute to celebrate. There's other people that's like, where is the decency of the loss of human life? Right. Yeah. Some people like to say every loss of human life is an absolute tragedy.
I would respect that if I also saw them talking about the genocide currently happening in Gaza.
100%, right? And they having mass evacuations in Gaza.
Because I think the way it hits me specifically is that too many people, I'm not saying all, but actually how they determine whether life is important is based on skin color and proximity to them.
Yes.
And that is frustrating, right? And that is actually extremely harmful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so whose life actually does matter?
Right.
Because if everybody mattered, then everybody mattered, and we should be moving like that.
Yeah.
But if it's only when it's a hot topic or it's in the news or somebody that's in proximity to you, then we got to begin to unpack that, because we vote based on that posture. We make collective decisions based on that posture. And so I think we want to be thinking about actually how do we honor the quality of like life and humanity and not stop short of just like the people who are in proximity to us. And for many, the people in proximity and the people who are propped up on news is also based on skin color, right? It's based on race. Sometimes it's based on gender.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Class. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. White supremacy killed Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. That's what got him killed.
Yep.
Like that's the thing that the very thing that he pumping, the very thing that he waving the flag for, that's what got him killed before he was supposed to be in return to the earth. And a lot of people like to treat it as though that's not the case. A lot of people like to treat it like freedom of speech, like this, that, and the third. It's like cool. Say what you think, but why you think that though? But where'd that come from?
Right.
But what is the advantage of you having these perspectives and these politics? How does that serve you?
Yep.
White supremacy killed him. I don't care who pulled the trigger. That's where it came
white
from.
White supremacy. And
so if you got an issue with Charlie Kirk not being here, then you probably got an issue with white supremacy.
That's connected. Connected. Yeah. No, for real. Yes. That's the connection. And that's why, again, in that same kind of like value of not recognizing the connection is why why people are making a choice of this life mattering more than maybe a black or brown child that's stuck inside of a prison,
Really?
right? Or immigration center right now, or genocide's happening in Congo and Sudan and Gaza. Like, we got to connect the dots.
Yeah. And we got to understand that the things we say matter. The platforms and the people who have power over mass media matters. All of these things are very important because it shapes our framework for how we understand the world around us. So we got to treat that responsibly. And I think we living in a time where folks know that, and folks is taking action because of that.
And I think, now is a likely good time. Now is always a good time to start practicing curiosity about what we believe, why we believe certain things, our decision making, why we make certain decisions, right? Let's interrogate that. Where is it coming from? What's actually like heart? What's actually what has been placed on us? What values we've been told are ours based on like what we see on TV, what we see in the news, what was shaped by our education system. And then I think start to unpack that so we can make, decisions and value decisions like rooted in actual like care, concern, compassion, and love. Which requires a commitment to ending white supremacy in many ways, yeah.
Elon Musk is focused on building the Music City Loop when we need to have him at the Nashville Fair for having the world's largest chest. I think the issue is
What?
we're worried about the wrong thing.
What are you talking about? What? Who said that?
I did. So look, this is what I'm
What
saying.
happened at the National Fair?
Look, it's the Nashville Fair right now.
Yeah.
Right? They having a fair. They're having a fair. And there's a lot of talk around the Music City Loop, which is the little tunnel
Yeah.
they're trying to
No, I
build
know
from
that, yeah.
downtown to the airport, right?
Yeah.
And from downtown to the airport, the city of Nashville has just sent, quote unquote, the Boring Company is what they call it, the name of Elon Musk company that's trying to build this, sent them a list of 80 questions because the city didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
So they like, what are you going to do about all of the infrastructure that's happening underground where you're supposed to be building this tunnel? And we out here worried about the Music City Loop and Elon Musk company building the Music City Loop when his appropriate position should be at the Nashville Fair for having the world's largest chest. Have you seen it?
No, what's the chest?
His chest. He's all chest. All right. Never mind.
I don't be looking at that man. I be avoiding looking at them because I be like, ugh.
No, bro, not real.
Yeah.
He's not human. I've been consistent in this. I don't think he's a real person. And I think there's a psyop going on by the U.S. government.
They playing in our face.
They playing.
I hate for people to play in my face. What's your other news?
The other news,
Let it be good. Is it good or bad?
what is my other news?
Is it Young Thug?
No. My other news was the Music City Loop.
Oh, okay.
The Music City Loop has a lot of discussion because the city is kind of like backtracking because they didn't get the information about it happening.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's maybe a legal battle because what was said on the I think it was either on the Nashville scene or the Tennessean. They were talking about how there was an email sent from the city of Nashville to the Boring Company to figure out infrastructure-wise how is this actually going to function?
Yeah.
Because it's not an actual functional idea. Like
Yeah.
it's the engineering
Won't
of it.
work, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think they know that. Do you think sometimes they just say stuff just to get it off?
I think they're saying it because they need to have a written document of we flagged this issue.
No, I'm talking about, do you think the Boring Company and Bill Lee actually believe it's going to work?
Oh, they don't care if it works or not.
Okay, they just want it to
So
happen.
I'm curious about what their real intention
That's
is.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
what's the play?
I don't know the play. I can't
We
quite
got to
figure
come
it out.
against it.
It is a play, though.
Yeah, it's a play.
100%
Yeah,
a play.
what's the play?
But we
But
gotta
sometimes
figure
they don't be knowing what they doing, though. That's what I mean. Like, they just be doing stuff sometimes. And like,
That's
maybe
real.
it'll work, maybe it won't.
Some of it is like ego and power, and it's like it's become rampant to the degree that it's like they might be in the meeting the night before and be like, "Let's do it
Right,
tomorrow."
no, like we should be aware
It's
that
like
that
ego,
might be what
power,
happened.
white supremacy supercharged by cocaine. I don't think that
a
they're
lot
like of a sober mind. The real whiteness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they cranked up right now. You know what I'm saying? They cranking that Superman right now.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I just don't think. I think it just be like it'd be psychotic. It'd be manic. Like, what are we doing?
And they just be encouraging each other.
Yeah.
And then we gotta live.
Right.
We gotta live with it. Like,
Right.
oh my goodness. Okay.
So that's the news.
That's the
but
news. Whew.
Look, we making it through. You said it last podcast. Look, we gonna continue to fight. We're gonna do everything
We
we
always
can
find
within
a
our
way.
Power. And everybody got a tool that they can pick
They
up.
do.
You know what I'm
Pick
saying?
it
You
up.
might have hit somebody with a picture frame.
Look, you might know how to make sandwiches. Let me tell you, that's a tool.
Oh God!
For
Talk about
real.
the sandwiches.
We gotta talk about it.
The ministry of sandwich making.
Sandwiches,
Yeah.
to bring the light and care to people while they
on.
in the fight, and to do it with love, because actually how you cook is how
Keep it
people
100.
receive it.
The sandwich is one of the greatest meals.
Look,
The sandwich
and
done
some
got
chips.
us through.
No, for real.
With an apple on the side? Don't have a chocolate chip cookie in the
Look,
bag.
and some juice.
Nigga.
Come on.
Look, it's up. So
It's
I
up.
think we just all need to identify our role, figure out how we can support. You know,
And get
this is a
into
very it's a big goal. It's very possible, but it's also very aspirational. We can do this. We really, really can. But everybody gotta do a little bit.
Do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. For real.
How's your life been going? Talk to me.
You know, thank
Let's hear
you.
it.
This is my moment.
Who you, Mariah Carey?
No, I said because I ain't had therapy in a while.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm the lady, you on the couch. Let's do it.
You the lady.
So Erica, talk to me. What do you hope to get out of today's session?
Ooh, okay. Yes, I done seen you. You done seen the lady. I'm really hoping to discover why I make certain decisions and what it feels like to lean on other people. When I am unable to do certain things, and I've been really able to experience that when I'm like thinking about there's some. And do you ever have a time when you like I can't experience certain emotions, but other people can?
Absolutely.
And it adds to, it's like, okay, their ability to feel this will support me as I'm attempting to like feel it. And I think that's a part that's supportive in how we think about like decision making and like organizing. And so that's something I just been really thinking about and working through, along with like, yeah, figuring out why I can't stop eating out.
Figuring out why you can't stop eating out. So let's backtrack. I heard a through line of decision making, relationships, and a big thing about choices.
Dang. Okay. What was the choices?
The choices is saying, because you're saying, why can't I not? Why can't you're saying a lot of like the word can, but I think you're making choices all along the way.
Yeah.
And what is informing those choices?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that as a theme. I'm willing to explore more.
That's real.
But also, I think a lot of times it's kind of hard to pinpoint the why.
I know the why, actually.
Okay, share.
I think the why is like my position on the bus right now. And I think I made this commitment to be on this particular place on the bus for 17 months. It was 18 months in August. I think we're at 17 now.
Okay.
To work at this capacity, right? Working this way. And I think it's extremely demanding. And so that informs a lot of my decisions. Like I'd be like, dang, I'm too tired to cook because I've been doing this, or I don't really have the bandwidth to think about cooking. So I'll just eat out. So I think that's what's actually going on. And I think that's why I appreciate that we can change seats on the bus. Like where I am now is not where I will always be, right?
Yeah, that's real.
You know, hopefully in 17 months, I'll be in a different place. Somebody else will be here. I'll be in another position.
In this life and in the next.
Yeah, because I could, I could be the butterfly outside the bus at some point.
You're right.
Yeah, you
That's
said
beautiful. Do you think there's a choice in preparation?
Absolutely. Like I'm definitely thinking about preparation. That's like the youth assembly is a part of like how we make sure our work continues, along with like they lead even right now, like they're leaders right now. But I think the other piece of it is like, dang, okay, how do I make sure that we're doing this work together, so it's not just like me in this particular position. Yeah.
And you've been doing a little bit of travel too, so you've been able to like be informed by particularly a lot of brilliant Black women.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're drawing from like that community, from that relationship building that you're a part of in this time that's kind of helping you choose differently, or maybe being more confident in the choices you've been making?
I think some of what I'm learning is like we know this, but being able to be in practice around it and be intentional about it is like community, where it's like, oh, we are peers, we share a similar experience. And so, because sometimes when we go through stuff, we like, oh my God, it's just me, I'm messing up, like I'm not good at this. But then when you like talk to another person, I feel like Alice Walker has this like quote, and she's like, when we think about our ancestors and the people who came before us, we learn we're not the first to love, we're not the first to be heartbroken. Basically, we're not the first to have this experience, and it makes us feel less alone. And I think I would add on to it, helps us see more of the possibility in our experiences, as opposed to like being like deeply personalizing it and then being like and falling into despair.
That's real.
Yeah.
Dang, thank you for sharing that.
No, thank
That's
you.
super dope.
What you been up to?
For me, man, I think I feel I had a like a digital breakthrough. Like
Digital, okay.
like social media, particularly like the internet, right? Like I really it clicked. It's something I always knew, but it clicked to me. I'm like, yo, this is simply a platform to take people that I could not normally reach and bring them into my real world. Like, and I don't even mean that through the screen. I mean to actually be like, hey, we finna be over on Charlotte at 3:00.
Come through.
Like, yeah. It's quite literally a party flyer. You know what I mean? Like
your whole social media.
That's all to me. The way I want to engage with it and the way I want to use it is to increase human connection. It's not for like any other reason. I think if we don't be like, hey, this is just the billboard to let you know that the party is on Friday.
I like that.
Come to the party. And then at the party, we make the real connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the internet has kind of like slipped into this weird like parasocial space where it's like you got internet friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never met you before. I don't know what your real name is. All I know is your username. I don't know, like, and it's been that way for a while. But I'm like, yo, no, actually, it's actually really, really cool when you can meet somebody, or at least that you come across their For You page or they timeline, and bring them into the real world space and be like, yo, I actually would like to meet you.
Yeah.
Like, just off the strength of like, you're in this ecosystem, you're around, you should come.
How do you do that?
I think one, we have to put a really strong emphasis on how we engage people in real life, right? Honesty, respect, like kindness, like all of these like really like first grade values is like, nah, like I don't know how you ended up in this room.
Yeah.
I don't know who talked to you. I don't know who invited you. I don't know if you came here from TikTok. I don't know. But the real value is I want to treat you with love and respect. Even if we don't become best friends forever.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't got to be that. But at the same time, it's like, no. My intention and my energy in this space and this time in the real world is this. And I think if we move like that, then that's the most important part. But I think what the internet gives you an opportunity to do is to signal that is what you're about, right? So once that connection of like, they saying that's what they about, but it's the internet, so who knows?
Yeah.
But then once you go and it's real, then there's actual value there. I think if those two things don't happen, then it's kind of for nothing.
So how do you feel about practicing to be with people? Like, you know how some people be like, it seems like they mean, but maybe they just kind of being awkward or they don't know what to say. Like, how do we
Are they socially exhausted?
practice that?
Yeah.
You know?
I think one thing that I like to do is be mentally prepared, you know, for what I'm going into.
Yeah.
So let's say it's like we finna go into a situation where we finna be social for the next 5 hours. Cool. I need to know that that's what I'm walking into before I walk into the door.
Yeah.
So I can be like, oh, I'm finna meet a lot of people. Like, that's a real thing. And I wouldn't say I have anxiety. I'm just like, I think my like, if you know you finna run, you gonna hydrate.
That's real.
I treat it like
that's
that.
a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just treat it accordingly. If you know you got to be up early in the morning, you go to sleep earlier.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Preparing.
things like that.
That's helpful.
Have some level of practice that allows you to be able to sustain what's required of you in the moment. And I think that's the primary thing. I think another thing, is just like it's character. It's like what am I doing in my real life that's going to then become a thing to you? It's the same thing I was talking about earlier, where it's like, how do the decisions that I make affect the people around me? And this may be people that I've never met before. I was fortunate to go to like a creator summit. Shout out to Tiffany. She had a creator summit. And shout out to Dr. Martin. Very insightful like thoughts. Dr. Martin spoke on a panel. Not a panel, but they had a fireside chat. And they were just talking about, how they built their platform. And what does it mean to actually build community? And what does it mean to translate communities from online to real life and like all of these types of things? And I'm just like, no, that's actually the value of it.
Yeah.
Like if we're not very intent on how does this make a difference in real life, then it's going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
Like you may get a blip, you may get a moment, you may catch a viral video, you may catch all of these things. But if I don't have any like real life purpose or real life goal, then it doesn't really matter. So I think just making sure that we know, like, oh, the function of this is to signal or to promote or to reach out or to say hello to people I couldn't normally say hello to just as one person sitting here. Now I get to throw a bigger net, but the real goal is being like, yo, this is like a space for honesty and like love and like real community. Like for real, like people say community all the time, but truly, like community is hard.
It really is.
Community is really, really hard. You got to
So
make really
difficult.
hard decisions. You got to be like, yo, me and him don't rock with each other.
Yeah, and you
the
gotta
best
be-
thing I can do is just stay out of your way and you stay out of mine, and we good. Like that community is like, it's difficult and it's messy and it's muddy and it's like complex and nuanced. So like it's not the way they present it, but like we're building community. Like
But
it's not
like
a
worth
friend
it.
fest.
Yeah, but it's worth it though. But
It's
it is
100%
very
worth it.
difficult. Yeah.
We can't survive without it.
No. Yeah, and it's isolation is really beating folks down right now.
100%.
So I rather take the messiness and muddiness of like community than like be like what appears to be safe by myself in an isolation. I think community also requires like a risk and vulnerability, because like dang, like you might not, they may have got you or they might not, but you gonna find the people who do. So I'm appreciating you saying that, so you learned your digital.
Yeah, I have a deeper, not deeper, let me say, I have a greater comfort with it, because I know, oh no, my goal here is just like say, hey, come rock with me for real. Like it's not to present a thing.
Yeah.
I was using like social media and like the internet as an art platform before. Where I was like, everything that I do is like a piece in an art exhibit.
Yeah.
Like I was just being hyper creative about
I
it.
see.
And I'm like, that's not the function of it. The function is to say hi to people. Like,
And what's up?
hey,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Come be a part of what we're
I
doing.
really like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an approach.
Yeah.
That is something. I'm going to think more about that and see what that looks like in practice for me, if that's something I can pick up. Or
Everybody's goal on social media is the
Yeah.
same. You know, some of our goals are to signal certain virtues and certain opportunities. I don't know what those virtues and opportunities may be.
That's fair.
But,
can do that.
sometimes we select certain songs because they resonate with certain groups of people.
Right, yeah. Like
What do
Pusha
you
T.
think? What do you think is the song that's bagging the quality black men on the stories? Like,
I don't
as
know,
a black
tell
woman, like
me.
what? You really want to know?
They said no. I did sound like I really. No. It's okay.
Yeah, but no, yeah. Sometimes it's that, but
I feel like women are simpler. It's like, I don't know what y'all be playing.
I don't think that we think about it.
Boo.
Yeah, I think we actually do what
So
we
I shouldn't
like.
think about it then. I just be playing whatever.
Play what you like.
You gonna get Wicked. You gonna get Mike
maybe
Frost.
don't.
You gonna get. I'm adding Pusha T to it. I gotta figure out what he's
See,
saying in the
that's not
songs.
what you actually like.
I do like Pusha T. I'm a fan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite Pusha T song?
The one he got with Wale now.
What's it called?
Wale talking about being blessed. Favorite. I'm blessed. I'm favored.
That's how it go?
Yeah, he say something. That's the cadence.
You right. You right.
And then I like grinding.
All right. So on this
Wait.
on this day in history,
What year is yours?
mine is 1963.
Mine is 1830.
Okay, you first.
All right, September 20th. Okay, so It's the first National Negro Convention met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, shout out to Brittany.
No, shout out to Philadelphia. Philadelphia has some really amazing like Black history, of course, because and what's really nice about that is like it was 1830, and one of the folks that were really a huge part of putting it together was Bishop Richard Allen, who's like founder of African Methodism, and African Methodism was also founded in Philadelphia, and all this happening before like the end of enslavement. So again, that's the story, right? This history of Black people organizing. And what was really brilliant about this convention is there was a lot of like, free Black people got together with a really clear mandate on like, how do we continue to get our people free? What does that work look like? How do we fight for jobs for Black people? How do we make it for Black people under persecution to get to Canada? And so just this intentional thinking about our freedom, but also the brilliance of doing it together. And I think the other really dope thing about the convention and even African Methodism and the work that our people were doing even before the end of enslavement was like the commitment to like democracy and governance, to being like, we're going to get our people together, make collective decisions together, determine how we're going to implement those decisions and programs, right? And then keep coming back, evaluating, learning our lessons. And the really dope thing is like how it grew. So like this convention lasting and being like an ongoing thing that didn't just stop at like that one meeting, but it being ongoing, much like what we see in this moment with different formations that are organizing right now. But just like, I was really moved by that.
That's incredible. And what year was this?
1830.
Okay, so this is about 35 years in advance.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's so interesting. I went to DC recently, and we went to the museum, I don't know what they call it, the National Museum of African American History or something. It's a Smithsonian museum, and they have a section dedicated to Richard Allen.
Oh, for real?
And they have a pew from the church.
From Bethel?
Yeah, they have an actual pew there. And they kind of talk about that legacy, and I think it's really important too, because also we was talking about like with the internet, like the religion and church was kind of the thing to say, hey, come over here. This is the place where we can actually gather and be in community with each other. And now we can move forward on like the things that we actually need and what we want to do. Super dope.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I got to get up there. I haven't been.
It's fire.
It was good.
Yeah.
How much time did you spend in there?
I was only there for like 2.5 hours. And
That's still a lot.
I didn't make it out of slavery.
Really? You were still, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What year did you in?
1850 something.
I do think it's important that you say you didn't make it out of slavery, but you did see Richard Allen, because it's just so amazing to me for Black people to be starting like formations and organizations and institutions that still exist in this moment before the end of enslavement. Like Black people were not all the way free, and they were still like, we are building institutions.
100%.
Building institutions.
Fire.
That is the legacy.
Yeah.
Right? That is our work.
That's fire. All right, September 15, 1963. It's the Birmingham bombing.
Yeah.
So what's very interesting about that I learned was, of course, we have 4 young Black girls killed in the church.
Yeah.
Tragic,
Yeah.
right? What also happens that same exact day is 2 young Black boys, teenagers, I think they're 16 and 13, are also murdered. In the fallout in Birmingham, people are hearing about the bombing, and there's civil unrest. 2 Black boys are walking down the street. You got Klan members driving by, shoot these Black boys in the back.
What?
Never heard about it. And their families, there's like documentation online where their families saying like, yo, nobody really talks about this. We never got no justice. We never got nothing. But what also I listened to when I was looking at that moment in history was Dr. King eulogized those young people.
Oh, really? Like the 4 young Black girls?
The 4 young Black girls.
Okay.
And what happens is, and I want to say their names. I have their names put up here. But what ends up happening is he talks about a series of thoughts where he said that their death is not in vain, right? Your lives may not have been like lengthy. You may not have done a lot in quantity, but they were large in quality. And when we look at 1964, that's when the Civil Rights Act passes.
Yeah.
Like every step and every breath that we take move our people forward.
Yeah.
And every step and every breath that we don't take moves our people forward.
Right, yeah.
Right after this life. You know what
And
I'm saying?
that's why I say it's an act of worship, because that's the way that it continues long past like our own like living and breathing selves.
Yeah. So Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, Denise McNair, and then also there were 2 young black boys, which was let me see. I want to name them. Last name's Robinson and Ware, 16 and 13 years old.
My goodness.
And I just think that like young people have always been the catalyst to the things that push this country forward. Unfortunately, our bodies have been exploited in every possible way imagined in this country. But when Dr. King was eulogizing them, there was something he said that really stuck with me. There's a few things. One, he talked about preachers who have been sitting in the comfort behind stained glass windows, who have made a decision not to step up and not to deal with this condition that we're living in. He talked about politicians who have fed their constituents stale bread and a stale bread of hatred and the spoiled meat of racism, right? And he also talked about the eternal meaning of love. No matter what it is, no matter in what timeline we exist in this physical form or outside of it, there's an eternal meaning that our lives have. And to me, that's about value. That's about the way we see each other.
Yeah.
Right? There's an eternal meaning that whether you in this life in person or whether you on the other side, I love you the same.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's really important for us to acknowledge that our lives have meaning, and our lives and what we do is very important, and we have no idea, the strides that we will make on the other side.
No.
But just being here and existing and moving forward as we do as people is important.
Can I add something to what you said about love? I forgot that Dr. King talked so much about love. I did read his book Strength to Love, like probably in like 2013. As you can see, I got love. It's tatted in like 7 places on me because I believe so deeply in it. But what I want to build on is that like Howard Thurman, who's like a public theologian, black public theologian from like before Dr. King's time, a little bit before that, like they weren't contemporaries. But I have to say, but he's like, if God is anything, then God is love. Because he's like, love is the thing that can make you do what you would otherwise not do. And I think that's the thing we talk about with movement, with our work, with our commitment to liberation. It's like, love gets me out of bed in the morning. It's love of my people that what we're actually doing is like, it's an act of love. It's an act in believing that people are deserving of like quality life, of humanity, because we love them. We love the land, right? Even I love the Dolphins. That's why I don't like how we moving with oil. I know, but it's for real. Like
Exxon need to relax.
Right? No, literally. Like it is an act of love. And like, the ocean love us back. The trees love us back. We love each other back. And what we're asking people is to make a commitment to a practice of love. And I think what Dr. King would say is like the strength to love, because it requires a lot of discipline, strength, and rigor to actually be in love and to love each other. Yeah,
and the thing that was like kind of conflicting to me was like that the Birmingham bombing kind of increased a doubling down on nonviolence, right? Because they saw that people were able to see, you blow up a church with 4 little girls in it. Obviously, that's wrong, right? And that was widespread across the country. It was on the front pages of newspapers. It was this huge thing, and it kind of like stimulated the nonviolence movement and also Robert Kennedy to pass the Civil Rights Act in that time in 1964. But I'm like, you don't get to blow up my nieces in a church with no reaction, like with no violent reaction. Quite honestly, like that's challenging. That's personally challenging for me, and we gotta wrestle with that.
Well, people have different tactics, right? Yeah. And I think that they would say that it was a tactic, and some say a way of life. But I think like that something that folks struggle with, that we can struggle with. Yeah.
That's just something I'm struggling with. But yeah, that's the history I was looking at. Now, if we bring it into present day.
And like, before we move on to that,
Fair.
I'm honoring again, like, what it means for Black people to be in love, right? What it means for us to hold each other and care for each other, and how sometimes that is complex.
Nah, you went off on that. You went off on that. You went off on that. Can we talk about Young Thug?
Exactly.
Segway queen. Look, Young Thug said, if we go to jail for the rest of our life, whoop they do. I said,
What?
What's the opposite of whoop?
But he want to be loved. That's
facts.
what the whole interview.
Yeah.
Everything is about.
You watched the whole interview?
What I heard.
Okay, all right, what you hear?
But I'm saying though, what I seen, what you told me, I'm like, he want to be loved. He like,
Yeah.
Gunna, why you ain't love me enough to not be, to not
make
do
a
that.
choice that was in
right.
my best
And then
interest.
why? And even if you make that decision, why you ain't followed up with me?
Yeah.
Why you not loving me? Because I tried to love you, even if it was imperfect.
Because I'm also seeing the understanding the complexity.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Thug got that in him. Like, I understand it's complex. Like,
Yeah.
I got ops that I know that they take care of their kids, so I'm okay. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I can let it go.
Yeah.
Because my values are weighted heavily on family than it is my personal issue with somebody.
Yeah.
So I just saw like a 3-hour therapy session. It reminded me so much of our men's circles, right? It reminded me so much of like the work we do as an organization to provide people with the space to process the way they feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
So often we never get that chance. And, you working paycheck to paycheck. You got all of these different barriers that you fighting against. You doing all of these things, and you don't even get the chance to say, this how I feel. To me, for me to figure it out, like not even to like explain it to somebody else, but just for me to understand it. And that's a really challenging thing, particularly for Black men. And I really, really, I'm telling you, I was having an emotional reaction to that interview. And I'm like, I've never been in no Rico.
Yeah.
But it's still transferable emotions where it's like, man, betrayal feels a way.
It does.
It feels a way no matter what form it takes, no matter who it is. Like, if I feel like I am loyal to you and you betray me, that's going to be hurt no matter what box you put it in.
Yeah.
Right? And that hurt is going to manifest itself into certain actions and behaviors. And I think it's important for people to be able to surface that for themselves so that they can actually gauge the decisions that they make. Am I doing this because I feel hurt and I feel betrayed? Or am I doing this because I actually believe this is the thing that I should do? And I think that interview kind of like allows a lot of Black men to live vicariously through that conversation, and the value of having an OG, the value of having somebody that you trust and respect to have that conversation with and to challenge you.
Yeah.
Like, Bank was challenging him multiple times throughout it. Like, I feel like you ain't been moving this type of way. I feel like we need to focus on healing and not focus on, everything else we've been focusing on. Like, I feel like that was such a like cathartic moment for culture. And I don't know, I just love that interview. Like, I really think it's an important moment in hip hop history and also in just like this period in time, like the ability to sit with an idea and process it through with somebody that you love and respect. So important.
Yeah. And how often do we get that space to do it? Because I do think in some ways it does require a sense of safety. Like, I trust that you got me, right? That we can have this conversation. You're going to stay in it with me. So like, what was one of the what were there a few parts that stuck out to you most?
One thing that stuck out to me, a couple things, is the way the interview, let me just say this, the way the interview started and the way the interview ended, right? And there's things that happen all throughout, of course. But the way the interview started is Bank asking Thug about his earliest memories, right? And you don't notice, but he slow walks it for 3 hours to get Thug to realize, like, yo, you've been through some really traumatic things at a very young age.
Yeah.
And that's informing the way all of this plays out.
And
you know that you've been through that. So these people that you engaging with,
real.
you got to remember that they probably been through something similar.
Yep.
And none of us is we're not mad at each other. I'm not your op.
We're hurt.
We're all experiencing trauma.
Yeah. Like, literally, it's so wild. I'm thinking about the Dolph song. where he like, when I was 9 years old, he like, I seen somebody get shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we all sing that song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, yo, you was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And that's so many people's stories.
Yeah.
And so what happens, and I'm building up because you was like, Young Thug in the interview, he's like, he saw his brother,
Mm-hmm.
that happened to his brother, and at that age, what he said, he was 11.
Yeah, I don't remember how old he was, but
He was young.
He named being like my goal was to retaliate for the murder
and
of my
he was
brother.
but he was a little boy when that happened. And so I'm like, how many, and we know that's why we abolitionists, right? Because we
Yeah.
know that prisons, police is not actually what fosters. We need our people we actually need to prevent these things from happening, and also love on our people so we can make healthier decisions.
And then we think about one thing, and this may be like a reach by some stretch, but to me it makes sense. I feel like to be human is to experience trauma to some degree, right? I would
In some
like
ways, yeah.
I would like to believe and to know and to create a world where that trauma is not because of systemic infrastructure.
But I do wonder if can I just
Hold on.
go ahead? Okay.
And I'm also framing trauma as like we can't control if a tornado blow through here and something happens and you lose your house. We may not be able to control if a flood happens and something like natural disasters. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about when I'm
Yeah.
saying that. It's like some things are literally beyond our control,
Yeah.
and we got to figure out, to be human is to figure out how to process
How to have
that.
resiliency, right?
To have resilience, but also to figure out what do we need to keep each other safe and what do we need to protect each other? How do we learn from this?
And care for each other through that. Yeah.
So there's to some degree, it's like you're going to experience hard times. However, what does it look like to experience trauma that is intentionally orchestrated?
Yeah, that's real. That's
for
real.
your demise? And it's like to identify that, because that is a different thing than just the human experience. That is white supremacy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a large part of this interview is Thug talking about how he has experienced white supremacy affect his life.
Right.
And how that has shaped his values, which is why there's such a hardcore belief on family, where it's like, I know what it's like to lose family. So if I see you as family, I'm never going to do anything to separate me from you.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the only things we got. There's no money involved there. There's no law involved there. We are family, whether we are by blood or by choice. Me and you are family. Once we make that choice, we need to honor that, because that's one thing that we can't control.
Right.
So that's kind of the rabbit hole I went down.
Real. That's real. And then I know there were a lot of parts we saw on the internet, like some memes that we saw.
Genius.
How are you holding that?
Love that. I love that. I think that's the thing. Like, black people, we are colorful people.
Yeah.
Like, we colorful. Like, and I think sometimes that's also why I kind of feel like I think this was powerful, because to do it publicly gave voice to me, right, and to my experience, and to like other black men that have like not really been able to grapple with their emotions, or may not have like somebody like Bank that's gonna be like, hey, let me sit down and talk to you for 3 hours,
Right.
and I'm gonna listen to you intently. Like,
What do you think his next steps are if he wants to be whole?
in the words of Young Thug, you think I should show people my healing journey?
That's real.
That's a part of it. I think it's like
Yeah.
commit to the healing, commit to like your kids, commit to like these values that are absolute. But I think continue to have a conversation, continue to be like, 1 3-hour conversation ain't going to erase,
Yeah.
40 years or however Young Thug old he is, ain't going to erase that many decades of trauma and that many decades of like confusion and pain. Like, it's not going to.
And he's going to have, I think at some point he's going to have to confront himself on the pain and hurt he's caused.
100%.
And a part of that is also really difficult.
That's hard.
And a lot of people, they stop at that, and so they never get on the other side of shame so that they can start being whole and healthier and kind of maybe beginning to like be accountable and right some of those wrongs.
I just need Young Thug to get back to making them Negro spirituals like check. Like, there's so
what
many.
was check?
Got me a check. I got a check. Yeah,
That's real.
like
Hey, you trying to put him back to work? Let him heal first.
I know. But sometimes you can make art, and that can facilitate your
That's
healing.
fair. That's
like,
a good
for me,
point.
at least, it's like making a music that you truly feel. That's like you feel like I'm saying exactly what I feel in this moment. That's very cathartic and very helpful. But that's just selfish. I'm a huge Young Thug fan. I think Young Thug is one of the best rappers of all time.
For real?
Oh my God, genius.
Okay.
Like once I was like, oh, once I
What
got
makes
it,
him the best? One of the best.
I think he is a connection between culture, spirit, language, and like identity that all intersects into like this incredible, unique voice. And it's just all of these moments are happening simultaneously, and he has the ability to make very complex feelings simplified into one line. And it's just like, this is exactly what I feel. Like that, I think the best artists are able to make complex things simple and communicate them in a way that resonate. When
is the last time you felt like you did that?
I don't know if I ever did that to that.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I feel like I know. I have a screenshot of one of your songs that it's the one about I believe that
You didn't say Giant.
Is it that one? Is the one about nighttime? I believe that liberation is like between.
Oh yeah.
Is that Giant?
Yeah.
Is it? Yes, that one.
Yeah. It's I think Giant was great. I think
Fubu is really good too.
Yeah.
Libations. Is that?
You really put me on the spot. I don't know.
Sorry.
It's hard for me to say because in order for me to say that, I would have to experience it outside of myself, and I'm not capable of doing that.
That's real. So I'm the one who's telling you.
Yeah, it's like somebody else would have to tell me. I wouldn't be able to tell people like, this resonated in culture. At least I haven't reached that level of success where it's like there's a mass voice saying, nah, this resonated in culture. That's what I go off of is like what other people feel. I know all the music I make resonate to me. Like it makes all of my lines to me are those lines.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's
kind of hard to say. But I think it's just I just think it's powerful to be able to do that with art, and art has a unique ability to like help us travel those like challenges and those complexities and get through to the other side.
I really appreciate that. Like there are songs, books. There's like The Color Purple is one of my like foundational books that's like able to put to language, words, feelings, how I think about God. That's why I love because she's like everything wants to be love. And then I think you have been able to through Giant, and I think even Libations, but I think more so through Giant, put to language and words in this moment, like contemporary moments, like what freedom can feel like. What the sense of it, you know what I mean? And then there are some other like I'm thinking about. There's a word. There's a song I forget who sings it. But he's like, "I see you in the future, you look better," and I'm like, "Oh, that's actually I think that's really nice words."
It's like Wale,
right? But I'm like, you know what? Like the thing that can capture things so clearly that for me would maybe take like 2 paragraphs to get to.
Yeah, and it's the honesty. You know, I think when you speak honestly, it can happen.
Ooh, yeah.
It can happen.
I feel like I don't know if it was Toni Morrison or James Baldwin that was like, if you're not like, write the thing that you're most uncomfortable saying.
God, and get you in trouble.
Look, but it's the thing. When I pray, I'm like, what is the thing I'm afraid to say?
That's
and
good.
There it is.
That's a prayer. God, give me the courage to say the thing I'm afraid to say. All right, we can end it there.
Right? No, that's good.
Hey, that's hard. Episode 42, we got a community dinner in Nashville on September 16th, right? Then we got the mass meeting on September 27th.
Yep.
And, you know, the Youth Assembly is back. So excited to have the young people. How many young people we got?
64.
64.
Turn up.
Like an Impala. Look, we back. You know, I'm really grateful to be doing this work. I'm really grateful to be with the people. And as always, we know with our people, when we work together,
we win together.
And when we win together,
we change the world.
Episode 42. Peace out.
Turn up. Good stuff.
I think we went over